So I made a post on Facebook earlier telling people to ask me about my story, ask me about Jesus. And I got a few responses, and I figured instead of writing out a book on Facebook, I'd just give you all a little video. For those of y'all that have the attention span or lack of attention span that I do, I don't like reading, and anything with paragraphs just scares me. So here you go. I'm going to give you a little backstory. I grew up preacher's kid. My dad wasn't actually a preacher, but he was the head deacon in the church. I was there every Sunday twice, went every Wednesday. I really didn't have a choice in the matter. And so by the time I got into high school, I really did not like church. It wasn't where I wanted to be. But after being forced to go for so many years, it's kind of the attitude you get. And I tried different churches, tried different places. I couldn't find that peace. So I decided I'd go out into the world and find it out on my own. And by the time I was 21, I ended up in AA with a bad alcohol and cocaine addiction. And I spent 5 years there, and I was able to get rid of the addiction and to get rid of the need for that. But I still couldn't find the peace that I wanted. I tried different religions. I tried going, to more churches, thinking, oh, this is what I need, and it's still nothing really sank in, nothing really fit. I had all the knowledge, but I didn't feel it, and I continued on, and just little things here and there, but it didn't get that bad, but I still had the feelings. I still felt lonely. I still felt anxious. I think I was probably 25 or 26, and I ended up having my first seizure. And the doctors had put me on some medication for it. It wasn't working, and I tried other alternatives, and that seemed to help for a little while. But it's still, the anxiety was there, like just the anger. I was so filled with just anger and fear that I didn't really know where to go. And it wasn't really until probably about a year ago that I started even pondering going back to church. And it still wasn't even like, oh, I may go some Sunday, possibly, but I still didn't want to. And I had been from relationship to relationship, from girl to girl, and nothing really seemed to stick. And my parents and my sister, they tried to get me to go to church with them for a year and a half whenever I'd come in town to visit. And every Sunday morning, I'd make sure I had breakfast plans or something. Like, I'd make something up just so I didn't have to go. They knew what was going on. I knew what was going on. God knew what was going on. But I still wasn't ready. And it was probably about 6 months ago, I decided to go to church for the first time in like 10 years. And, my mom, I did it basically so, my mom would be happy. And that's kind of where that really started. My my mom's pastor, he ended up talking to me, and because during the whole service he's like, talking and preaching, and I'm just like, I wanted to hate everything he said. I wanted to hate him, not even knowing this guy, just because he was a preacher, just because I was in church. I'd gotten burnt out from the whole church experience. Being a bald guy with piercings and tattoos, most church people kind of look at you weird. Some people even say some weird things. So that was the last place that I wanted to be. But this place was different. I met some Christians who were actually like really cool. They came down to my level. They knew where I was. They had been there. And so it was kind of something relieving. So that was pretty cool. And that's where that whole process started. I talked to him for probably 3 or 4 months on and off, just here and there, just little questions. Like, I still wasn't happy. And one of the many things that was my downfall over the course of time was a woman. And I got to the point with this girl that just every insecurity, every weakness, everything about me that I had just hidden down for so long and just avoided and just tried not to even pay attention to it, it all came out. And it all just kind of combusted into this, I don't even know how to explain it. But I finally got to the point where I was ready. What I was doing was not making me happy. What I was doing was just tearing me up inside. That's all I did was hurt. That's all I did. I never had any hope for the next day. It was always like, okay, I'll go to bed and hope tomorrow's better. And it never was. I never actually had that hope. I never had peace. And finally one day things just got so bad that I hit my knees and I prayed to God and told him, I'm a sinner. I need you. I need you right now. Nothing else has worked. I've tried this for 10 years. I haven't found anything that's worked, and I'm willing to try anything at this point. And that's whenever God really came into my life. And it was a really cool thing, because for the first time, things still weren't going well, but for the first time I actually had hope. Things are going to get better. This is actually a good thing. This is a cool thing. And I mean, for anybody who's listening to this, who's a new Christian or is, thinking about becoming a Christian, I'm going to be straight with you. It's not going to be a bed of roses. It's not going to be just, oh, everything's bam, better. No, that's not the way it works. I found that out personally because I've had nothing but trials, since I got saved. But at the same time, each one of those has helped shape me into the person I am. It's helped build my faith. It's helped make me a stronger person. There's a lot of things I've always had problems with, like lying's been a big one of them. Just in general being afraid, anxious. For the most part, most of that's gone. And I found too that anytime I get in that spot again, all I got to do is pray or get a hold of one of my friends. But God's always there. For the first time in my life, I have hope. Today may not be the greatest day in the world, and tomorrow may not be, but I know it's not going to last long. And there's going to be those days where I'm going to have problems. There's going to be those days where I'm going to get anxious. There's going to be those days where I'm going to get mad, want to yell. That's what happens. I'm human. But at the same time, I know that I've got a God in heaven. I've got a Lord and Savior who died on the cross for me. For me. Everything that I've done, everything that I've thought, everything that I've said, all the friends that I've hurt, all the family that I've hurt, God forgave me for that. He sent his son for that. And so without going into any gory details, this is basically my story. And I hope it helps somebody out there. If there's anybody out there that's in the spot that I was, please reach out to somebody. I'm always available. You can catch me on Facebook. If you don't know where I'm at, the last tag is facebook.com/AXSmusic. Hit me up, message me anytime, because I'm more than happy to share Jesus with anybody. But I hope this works for you guys, and just keep praying, keep having the faith. If you don't know Jesus, talk to somebody who does. Thanks, guys.